let's go to how this effort to strengthen political parties actually take place under a parliament that is proposed under the federal Philippines.
Yes.
I understand 60-40 ang hatian, di ba? 60% of the lower house will still be voted through single member legislative district.
Yes.
40% proportional representation.
Yes.
Una muna clarification before you go to the details. A lot of people are asking, are you going to abolish the party list system?
Oh, well, again, that's a very controversial issue. You know, the party list system, originally as it was envisioned in the 1987 Constitution, was to provide a pathway, no matter how narrow, for the marginalized and underrepresented sectors to be given a chance to enter the halls of Congress. But of course, the concept is based on a method of apportioning seats called proportional representation. But when the implementing law was legislated in 1995, it mangled the interpretation of the party list system.
Just nagkaroon pa ng ceiling, 3 seats.
Yes, and then eventually, it was further misinterpreted by several succeeding Supreme Court decisions. So the very concept of proportionality, which was very important to making the system work, disappeared, no? And that is what you're saying, no? First, there is no floor, there's no threshold. So the interpretation that for every 2%, any party can
Already get a seat.
seat is not proportionality. First, you must have a threshold, let's say 2%, or we can raise it to 5%, and only those parties that breach that threshold will be now counted and apportion seats based on proportionality. And proportionality means there should never be any cap.
Yes.
No? So naglagay tayo ng 3 seats na cap, and that destroyed the concept of proportionality. So what is the practical effect? The practical effect is you have fragmented your parties instead of integrating them, and then you have provided a disincentive for strong parties, strong mass-based party to break up their membership into several sectors, no? So kaya makikita natin, for example, yung Makabayan Bloc, no? Very strong yung kanilang support sa civil society, sa NGOs nila, pero they had to break it up to different sectors. So they have teachers, youth,
kasi nga they're limited by the cap.
Sa cap
So the short answer is that you're going back to the original spirit of the party list system.
Yes, yes.
You're not abolishing it.
We're not abolishing it. We are reforming it and bringing it back to the original spirit, which is really to provide an avenue for representation for not only the marginalized but also the underrepresented.
Now, how is this different from the current system? Kasi ngayon 80-20%, di ba?
Yes.
So tataasan nyo, magiging 40% for the system of proportional representation. Pero yung 40%, paano siya pipiliin?
First of all, kasi we have to begin with the definition of parties. So under the party list law of 1995, there are 3 types of parties. You have the national political party, the regional political party, and the sectoral parties. Ngayon, ang nagpagulo doon yung sectoral parties, no? Because dapat lahat sila political parties with different constituencies, either national or regional or local. Pero we will ask the current sectoral parties to reorganize and consider reorganizing, in fact, joining with other sectors to form real political parties of national or either regional in scope. And then, we brace the allotted seats for the proportional representation system from the current 20% to 40%, with the qualification that half of that 20% will be reserved for the really economic marginalized.
Okay.
So,
yung talagang mahirap.
Yung talagang mahirap. So this includes workers, peasants, fisherfolk, indigenous people, and the urban poor.
Okay.
So for the first 3 electoral cycle,
12 years.
12 years, since we've decided that the term of office shall be 4 years, we can even raise it to 5. Only these sectors are entitled to that part of the PR system.
Reserve seats.
Reserve seats. Yung other 20% will be for the underrepresented. The idea here is that we are building our party system not only for the poor, but we are trying to broaden the base of our political system.
Sino naman yung underrepresented?
Youth, professionals, OFWs, and other sectors. So lahat ng sectors na gustong magtayo ng partido in alliance with other sector, or kung kaya nila as a single sector, kasama. And we want to attract the millennials, the academics, no? Those na hindi kayang tumakbo dun sa single member districts.